Yeah, Shalini, I've
Yeah.
already started.
Okay, great. Then I'll start. So, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining from the world. Welcome to 365 Champs, the Power Platform Meetup, the Indore chapter. So, what is our agenda for today? So, first I'll explain for the ones who are joining us new that who we are and how can you connect to us. What are the news, updates, and the upcoming events? And we have for the first time Priyesh Wag with us, who's going to say about the Perform Dynamics 365 operations using adaptive cards with Microsoft Teams. And then at the end we have the Q&A session. So, who we are. Here's a brief timeline for all of you. So, back in 2018, all the community leads realized the need of a local community in a Southeast Asia. So, around 10 plus leads teamed up and started the first chapter in Singapore. The number of leads grew by time, and the champs went global with expansion in more countries. Today, we have members and leads in around many countries like Malaysia, Australia, South Africa, Singapore, UK, Indonesia, Philippines, and many more LinkedIn followers of approx 5,000 plus, and we have Kaizala membership around 800 plus. And in future, we are having a lot of new initiatives coming up. So stay tuned for that. You can connect us with us on social media. You have the LinkedIn, Twitter, Kaizala, and the QR code for it. Next, if you want to speak with us on the D365 Champs community, you can just scan this code from your cell phones and or follow the link, and then you can just fill in the forms so that we can connect with you so as to what is the topic. Yeah, over to you, Dipesh.
Thank you, Shalini, to hand it over to me. So, some news. Finally, the thing that I want to focus on, I want to really talk about data. I'll just take 25 seconds of your time. Data is pretty important, guys, and that's a common. If you remember, Mark Christie shared a wonderful graphic all over social media, which has been gaining a lot of traction in the Microsoft BizApps community. And that graphic said data is the common, right? No matter you say common data service, you say something else, and then now we are finally in the Dataverse. Now that's what common data service has been renamed to, Microsoft Dataverse, very, very recently. And even Dhruvan, who is there on this session, is going to take a session at 12:30. We had to do a lot of rework of renaming and convert it into Microsoft Dataverse because his original session was for some other title. But don't consider common data service to be only about data store. It is a lot more. And when Priyesh is going to take a session today, you will know a lot of the power that is coming through. Some terminology has also been updated. I have been training myself for over a decade and many, many more others. Like I have been training myself for 12th year in that no, this is not called a table, this is called entity. Now it's time to train ourselves to call it entity. So no, no more entity. It is table now and it is column now. So in the new Power Platform world, we all need to upgrade ourselves to call it like that. Power Virtual integrations with Bot Framework Composer is now available in public preview. The other thing that we did recently from Champs, we did the biggest APAC event, Microsoft Cloud event for APAC, and one of the biggest worldwide cloud events, Global BizApps Day, on 31st October, non-stop. This 12, 13, 14 wonderful people from all over the world supported this initiative. We had 24 international speakers, including Microsoft. There was a Quizmaster team who did a Quizibot, which was showing innovation of Power Platform right in a live event for the first time that I remember. That was done. Now the session recordings for the entire day are available out there on our D365 Champs YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel. We always post our different things there. We have different playlists maintained there. Thanks to everybody who supported that event. Thanks to our sponsor. Okay, so Dynamicity is always more than happy to help you out with any kind of implementation needs and upgrade needs that you have. And we have always been a wonderful supporter of the Microsoft community. So we are one of the trusted Dynamics and Power Platform partner. And this is the first time I am speaking about the sponsor slide. So thank you for that. Let's move forward from this one.
Yeah, I'll just stop my screen sharing.
Okay, so over to Priyesh. I will give a brief introduction to for Priyesh. Priyesh has been a great advocate of the Dynamics and Power Platform. I think, I have personally met him few times, and I've seen the entire journey. Really, really hard worker, and has been. If you have not read his blog in the recent times, he almost, I don't know, the frequency of the blogs of Priyesh is way more than Power Automate, right? way more than the Power Automate asynchronous technology. This is he is sharing a lot of knowledge. In the recent time, if you are not on mute, please mute yourself. Somebody is joined not on mute. Thank you. So he has been a business application MVP and still continuing to contribute and taking sessions. Yeah. So over to Priyesh today. You can share your introduction with us, Priyesh. Thanks for giving your time today, and then also share the wonderful topic that you're going to talk on today. And share with us.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, Dipesh. Thank you, Shalini, and thank you everyone from the D365 Champs team for having me here. It's my first time, and I'm really excited to be here. So Dipesh kind of pretty much covered everything of my introduction, but I'll still, I'll first share my screen and we'll dive into the topic. And during that time, I'll also introduce myself again. Um, can you all see my screen? Can you all
Able
see
to
my
see your screen. Yeah, we are able to see your
Awesome.
screen, Priyesh.
Okay. All right. So let's start. Keeping in mind that Saturday is usually, everyone's slow and relaxed day. So not covering a very heavy topic today, but something that is really fun, something that will excite, and something that is achieved like a lot, but it feels, while you do it, it's like, oh, this was pretty quick, and I didn't imagine it could be that easy. So using adaptive cards. So let's do also a quick show of hands. How many of you already know adaptive cards or have used it in some or the other way? Can we do a quick show of hands? Okay, looks like none. Well, anyways, but I still okay. So there are quite a few.
Priyesh, there were
Sure.
4 or 5 raised hands, which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could see as
It
administrator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It popped up late on my end. Yeah, all right. So this will define how I introduce you all to adaptive cards, and how we can use adaptive cards across different platforms, so that we send data and use it with Dynamics 365 Dataverse, not CDS. I've been practicing to even train myself again to not call it CDS but Dataverse. So let's see how if you have come from a Dynamics 365 CRM background, you do use Dynamics 365 day in day out. This is a very useful topic where you can bring in adaptive cards to interact and do most of your tasks in Dynamics 365 using Microsoft Teams and Power Automate, right? So let's start with today's topic. But one second. Yeah, so I will introduce myself again. My name is Priyesh Wagh from Mumbai. I work with CloudFront Technologies. I've recently been awarded as Microsoft Business Applications MVP. And these are my social handles. I'll again be resharing this towards the end. And that's my blog, D365 Demystified, and you can follow me on Twitter, Priyesh underscore WNGman7, which is Wingman7, right? So let's look at what are we going to cover today. Um, so first of all, since some people know adaptive cards and most don't, I'll be taking a quick overview of what adaptive cards are. Then I'll be having a simple adaptive card, a simple scenario where an adaptive card can be triggered to a Microsoft Teams chat, that is a flow bot, and then based on that you can take certain actions and the data can be updated back. So while we walk through that scenario, you can better imagine of how that should work. Then also you can design your own cards, but first when I will show you an adaptive card, you will probably better understand what an adaptive card is. But we are also going to look at what Microsoft officially provides as a designer and how you can use to customize your own cards, prepare your own cards, and use it in your host application, right? And finally, we'll be looking at a caveat. If you're trying to loop using adaptive cards, there are certain things that you must take care of. So that also I will be talking about later on during the session today, right? So moving forward. So what are adaptive cards? Adaptive cards are basically JSON-based snippets of user interface that match to the host environments. Like it's a small card which you usually show like a flight reminder or a quick feedback form. but it takes shape and form of the host application that it is showing up on. Like if it is Team, it will have the UI properties and UI capabilities of that particular application. It is also possible for Cortana. It is possible for Windows Outlook as well. So let me show you. So there is an official website. adaptivecards.io. So Adaptive Cards is a Microsoft-based technology where it works on different platforms. These keep getting updated. Recently, I think they got added with iOS, which wasn't there initially. React Native also got added, in recent past. So this is an official website. Unfortunately, you can't sign in and save your work or something like that. But there is a free designer here. If you go on the last tab, which will give you an interface to design your own card. And yeah, so this has come up. So this is the designer, and this is how your card looks. Basically, what you can do is you can select where should this card go on. Should this go on Microsoft Teams, depending on your theme? Should it go to Cortana? Should it go on a Windows timeline? Or even Outlook actionable messages, right? So for this topic, we are covering Microsoft Teams. And so since I use the dark theme, I'm going to do this. So this is how an adaptive card looks. It can pop up some messages. You can have different set of controls that you can put into it. Just like this, you can just drag it here and paste it here based on how you need to design the card. And your payload, your JSON payload actually, gets created while you do this. And you can just copy all of this and use it in your application. Now, in this case, we will be working with Power Automate. But Power Automate has some built-in designer features, which we will look at. And finally, you can also have some sample data pop up here where it will actually show what is being shown, right? So this is a simple designer. Since you can't, have sessions and save your work, it is best to use an extension for VS Code, that is that is Adaptive Cards Studio, which I will be sharing a link towards the end of my session, right? So these are what adaptive cards are. If it's in Outlook, it will look like how it will match the essence of Outlook, and hence the buttons likewise. Or if it is something else, if it is like a Cortana, I haven't used Cortana, but yeah, it comes up like this. So you can quickly have JSON payload created like this, and you can use in your host application, right? So since in this example, in today's session, we are looking at something that should show up on Microsoft Teams. I'll be using this, and this is a card payload which I will be using. But instead of going here, since Power Automate already has some capabilities built in, you can build your own adaptive cards, right? So I have a few flows. So first of all, there is a scenario which I will be walking through. So let's assume that you are working in your Dynamics 365, and there are some operations or there are some tasks where your users need to remember and go into Dynamics 365 every time they have to do something, right? So and a simple scenario that we're going to cover today is a task. Let's say there are some tasks assigned to different people, and you use Dynamics 365 to manage your task so that the entire organization has some visibility. Let's say there is some task and it was due more than a day ago. You might have worked on it, you might have done it, but you forgot to come back and mark it as complete, right? So at that time, leveraging Power Automate, what you can do is maybe wait for a day until a task is completed. If it is not, show an adaptive card to a team, show an adaptive card to the user and ask them that, hey, looks like you might have done this operation, but did you forget to mark it as complete? So you can just say yes or no. At least it will be like a reminder to that user, right? So that's what we're gonna cover in the first scenario. So I have a Power Automate already created for that, which is this as a single task update. So if I open the edit, I will show you what flow I have created, and I'll walk you through all the components. It usually takes, yeah. Okay, so it has come up. Ideally, what the scenario should be that whenever you create a task or whenever a task is created, wait until the due date plus 1 day is completed. I have not put it here because I want to show you all this in real time. But ideally that should be the scenario. There is also one caveat to this, in case if you're wondering why not have everything looped into, but that is what something I'll talk towards the later half of the session. So let's say when I update something on my task, my flow will run just for a trigger, right? So this is a temporary trigger. I will pass everything. I will also get a user record. That is because I need a primary email address of the Dynamics 365 user, because on the task, what you have is an owner field. And from that owner field, I will get the username. I will get the user record. And from the user record, I'll get the email address of the user. So that is needed because you need an email address to send that adaptive card to, right? So right here, there is this step called as adaptive cards. So this is from Teams. I will also show you where you can find this, but first let me walk you through this card. So the first use case is you can, without even having anything to design in a card, you can simply start putting options like this. Select whom you want to send it to, with what message it is, and what the headline should be, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm picking the owner record of the task and sending it to their primary email. Then I'm showing what the description of the task is. In this case, if I have to open this task, it is the description of the task itself, right? And whatever the subject is, yeah, so this is the description of the task, and whatever the subject is, that is also something that I'm picking and choosing to send it to that user, right? So I'm putting the description here, I'm putting the subject here. And should I update the card? Should it be popped up? Yeah, so I will select this as yes. And based on what the response is from that user in Microsoft Teams, I will decide what I have to do next with that particular output, right? So just because of this example, I'm asking user that have you completed the task? And if the user clicks on yes, I have completed it, I'm simply just going back to that task and updating the task as completed. So yeah, I'm just marking this as complete. So I'll just first quickly show you a demo of how this will work, and then I will also show you how you can select this card, right? So here is my Teams. So these are I have purposely put this out so that to hide away all my past experiments. So please pardon me for that. Next, what I will do is I will simply trigger this. So in order for it to be triggered, I'll just update something so that my flow is triggered. I will just save. When I save, my flow is triggered. Ideally, this should be triggered when the due date is passed. So you can design your flow accordingly. It could be endless number of use cases. It is all based on what your application is. So my flow will run, and in my Power Automate, sorry, in my Teams, I will get a card. So let me look. Okay, so it just popped up right here. So based on that card, I will get a card like this, completed, and whatever the subject of that task is. And I've just put my description in the card details. And I've given the two buttons, right? I've given them choice to either select of, yeah, let's go here. To select either if it is still pending or have they just completed. Okay. Which are this? No, it's still pending or mark as completed. So these are the two options I had put in. Hence they come up in card as buttons. And if you notice, everything is according to how Teams controls look, right? So first, let's just bypass, let's just not do anything, and I'll just submit this right away as is, right? So once you submit a card, your response is recorded here and nothing happens, right? So as of now, I'm not taking that action because I said no, it's still pending. And it's nice thing that I could be reminded of this particular task. I at least got reminded of what happened with that task, right? So I'll just choose to do nothing with it, right? So in the next instance, let me just update something again. So that once a card shows up again, I will now this time mark it as complete, right? Notice that it is still open. So let's look at our Teams. It should pop up in a moment. I will not save it. Yeah, it got triggered. So you see now this time I am marking it as complete. There also it also asks for some additional comments. Right now for this example, I'm not doing anything, so it's okay just to do anything. But in case if you want to use some feedback from here, you can. But I'm just marking it as complete. I'm not doing anything with the comments that I submit, right? So I'll just click on submit, and based on my flow, what it will do is it will go back and mark this activity as completed. Now, if you see that it is open, by the time I've submitted my response, it should have already marked it as complete. Hence, it should be read only. Yep. So it is marked it as complete. So these are some simple things you can do using adaptive cards. This can't take more than 20 minutes to design. It's as simple. So there was one caveat I talked about that why not loop? Like why not have a reminder that runs every day and picks all the cards that are pending? Well, the thing is, in terms of selecting those, what happens is if you loop through all these tasks, and if there are 2 or 3 tasks for a single user, the other tasks won't show up until you respond to one of them, right? So if I have 3 tasks for myself which are pending, my chatbot won't show me 3 different cards that these are the 3 tasks that are pending. They will start coming up one by one. So meaning the first one will show up, and if I provide some feedback to it, then the next one will show up after I submit the first one, and then I submit the second one, the third one will show up. So this is a caveat, and things will get stuck because that's how I initially experimented with in this particular flow, which is not being used, but I'll just show you what that flow was. So hence it is ideal that every instance of a flow run should be unique. Hence, like if there are these tasks which are pending, they should have their own flow run. Obviously you can add all sorts of check, like whether if there doesn't exist any due date, why should there be a flow run, right? You can save your flow runs with that. So initially what I had done is get all the tasks which are open then older than 1 day, then to each of them I was trying to apply a flow bot which gives out the same options, and then based on that I will update the record. But what happens is unless you respond to the first one, it won't loop through the other one for one particular user. So that is something not an ideal way to go about, right? So that was one caveat. I will show you which step I selected. So I'll open my flow. So if you're wondering where this action comes from, let's look into that. So I'll just add a sample step. I will not save my flow. Let's say once you add an action, you can search for Microsoft Teams. Because it's so frequently used, it usually comes up in your most recent ones. If you select Microsoft Teams, there are several ways. There are several different types of cards. So if I just type adaptive, it will show me all options. So these are your custom adaptive cards where it says post your own adaptive card, post your own adaptive cards. So you can post either to a user or to a Teams channel. Next is to a channel as a flow bot. And yeah, so the ones which say there is also one called as an options. I'm not sure if it is popping up here. So what I used is post a choice of options as the flow to a bot user. So this is also a type of adaptive cards, but it doesn't have adaptive in its name, so it didn't pop up. So this is what I had used, which is simple, which doesn't need you to design your own card and then post it, right? Then there are different ways of how you can create your cards and post, whether to a Teams user or a channel. So based on that, you can select what you want. So this is what I had selected, and it gave me different options. So I can simply keep on adding options like this, and then you can add email addresses. You can also add dynamic content to it if you want, because if some options could be dynamic. So there's a whole lot of things you can explore here. So this is a simple adaptive card where you don't need to design anything. So the second use case, or the second type of adaptive card, is where you get to design what you want to show up, right? So which is your custom one. So I will open that one. So this is a custom adaptive cards. Let's move towards the second scenario. So I will talk about the scenario first. So I'm in this example, I'm taking more inputs from the user and not just simple clicks or simple options, right? So the scenario here is there is this particular opportunity, and let's say someone enters a probability onto that opportunity. What it will do is it will go and ask the owner of this opportunity, should we pitch for a demo or not, assuming that this was these are some default values, and just define some strategy, right? Because someone has come here and let's say higher management has come here and updated that, oh, the probability now looks 90%. So but the owner of this opportunity hasn't entered whether we should be pitching for a demo or a defining strategy, right? So this is just simple use case for easy understanding that I've prepared here. So what my Power Automate will do, what my flow will do is whenever someone updates the probability to any number, it will go to the owner. Let's say this is Joe Danny. It will go to the owner of the opportunity and ask that user on Teams that what should be the strategy now, and what should be the should we pitch for a demo or not, right? So this is one use case I'm covering in the other adaptive card, which is custom. So if we look at my flow, I will walk through the flow. Again, this is a temporary trigger. I'm just triggering it on the update of the opportunity. You can have a different scenario, and not just not restricting it to limited set of entities of what I'm talking about. You can use this in any case you can imagine in your Dynamics 365 based on your requirement. Anything you can you can go back with your team and discuss that what are certain things that we do frequently that users need to go into Dynamics to do just that one thing, and where we need users to keep asking them about, hey, what happened to this, and can you go back and update that record? So it's it basically starts from that generic of an idea. So yeah, this is another example that I'm covering, that whenever someone updates the probability, I will again get the account record. Not necessarily you should have this step. If you if you know how to use filter expression, filtering attributes, there are more ways where you can go into the owner record and update primary email address of that user as well. But for simplicity, I'm just first I'm just getting the account so that I get the account name and all of that. Then I'm also again getting the user, which I did in the previous flow. Then this is the card. So this is because I'm selecting a custom card. This is what shows up. Let me show you in the other flow what this is, because I have updated the name and it might confuse. So let me just add any step anywhere and show you. So if I go to Teams and post your own adaptive card as a flow bot to a user. So the last one, right? So I want to post my own adaptive card as a flow bot to a user. So if I select this, okay, maybe this is not it. This is a different one. Which one is that? Flowbot. Oh, I have to also wait for a response, right? Adaptive cards to a Teams user and wait for a response. Yeah, I think this is it. Yes. So here it lets me create an adaptive card. This message part is where you want to pass some custom values onto the adaptive card. It could be from your dynamic values. So maybe this is a bug, but I tried on different browser. What happens is if you click on your dynamic content, it doesn't come up, right? There is this issue. So what in this you can do is you can have your cursor here and press Control Space, so that your dynamic value is forcefully shown up, right? So this is probably an important tip if this might be not be fixed in the near future. So this is how you can do. I tried, usually it should just show dynamic values like this, but in this case it's not working. But obviously you will need dynamic values here, so you can just do Control Space and it will show up all the options for you, right? So if you click on adaptive card, the same designer that we saw in this particular portal, this is the same designer. This is the particular same designer with all the controls that come up in your adaptive card editor, right? This was one of the recent additions. I have an older blog post on this which uses this same action from Microsoft Teams for adaptive cards, but we don't get an editor like this, right? What I had to do is I had to go inside the designer, save my progress every time, and come and then post into a box, post the JSON into a box. But good that we have good that we have a editor right here, so you can again start designing your card like this. Also, whatever you pass on to the card, you can select it from the data context. Okay, I have not saved anything, I guess. Just select any one field so that it shows of how you can take dynamic content. Let's say GUID of the task, for example. Okay, this is again for each. So assume it doesn't go to for each. Let's take anything, for example, right? I have to also give it a name. So I'll give it this name. And if I want to populate anything dynamically, it will show up here, right? So if I have to put, if I have to show the title, which is dynamic, then I can, erase this and instead take that variable so that it will be auto completed. I will show where I have used this. I will show where I have used this. So you can, kind of have your field labels dynamic or some default values as dynamic as well. So that's how you can pass some data from um, the source to this adaptive card, and then again go back and update, right? So going back to again, I will not save this. Yeah, so this is my card. So I'm just passing on the account name so that it shows dynamically. I'm passing the probability that, because we are updating probability, the user should know what the probability is right now. And I'm passing it all to my adaptive card. So I'm just asking that this account strategy needs to be entered. The probability is set to the dynamic variable that I'm selecting. Please provide next step. So the user can quickly just enter some steps and pitch for the demo, yes or no, just select and submit back, right? So this is a custom card where you can design and save. And whenever user gets this, you can parse back the response, and based on that you can go back. If someone says that yes, you can go and set that option set value to yes, or whether you can set it to no. So yeah, so that's what I have done. Let's take a look at the example first. Then I will also talk about one of the other caveat in this case here, which I discovered is, all right, so let's go to the opportunity. Let's update the probability to now 80%, and we will simply save this record, right? So we have just saved this record. There is no defined strategy or pitch for demo. This will come in from the user. Let's go to the flow. Let's not save it. Let's see if it runs. I have saved the record, right? Okay, let's wait. It does take some time. Yeah, so it has started. I have already received another chat or another adaptive card that, hey, Litware instrumentation, which is the account on that opportunity. The probability is now 80%. Please provide next steps. And we can second, we should show them a demo of the glass and fiber, right? So we can just, we can show them of what we offer, and then yes, do pitch for a demo, and then just submit this information back. So this is something that I had entered in my adaptive card, that what will happen if if you have to show a response, right? So that's just it. It just got submitted. The flow will complete its operation. No, this is not the one. Yeah, the flow will just complete its operation, go back to the opportunity, and it will update these two values. It was no originally. I had set it to yes, and I had entered some defined strategy data, right? So that will go up and be populated in my record. Let it refresh. Usually it happens that when the entire page is refreshed, the latest data is shown up. It's taking longer than usual. I'll just refresh the page once more time.
Priyesh, just a
Yeah.
moment while it is refreshing. There is
Sure.
a raised hand, so can we take up a? It seems it's a query. So Sagar, Jenny, do you have a query? Do you?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
hi
go ahead.
Prayesh. Uh,
Hey, Sagar.
since
Yeah.
you're showing up the adaptive cards and it is
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the user's input,
Mm-hmm.
so how much time will it wait? Is there a wait time as such?
There isn't any wait time. It will keep running. Like I have, been trying to, keep this in testing for quite a few days, over a couple of months. There are still some cards waiting unless and until the user responds, it will just be in the wait state. Uh, but there is a limitation on the flow run. Flow wait, I think it can wait a certain number of days. The flow itself can wait a certain number of days. I think that should be the limitation. But then I
Okay.
haven't tested the exact number of days of how it should. Maybe if I, get to a number, I'll probably update.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Sure. Thanks. I'm not sure why it is taking so long. This is something from Dynamics end. Okay, so while it is loading, I had mentioned that there is another problem with the flow. Not a problem, but similar to the bug I mentioned in the other one, that the dynamic content wasn't populating. So in this case, the issue is the response or the dynamic content for that particular flow action doesn't show up in your query. Okay. Yeah. So um, so there is this sparse JSON. So the reason I use this parse JSON is that ideally it should come up like this. But when I was preparing this demo, the dynamic content wasn't populating. So if I just, if you can see my screen, I'm getting from the first step, I'm getting from the account step, I'm getting from the manual trigger step. But you see this previous step, ideally it should give me, dynamic content values from that step. It didn't give me those values. It could be a bug. I'm not sure. Previously, this was working on one of my older posts where I had, you know, um, written on a similar topic with some SharePoint example. If you look at this post, yeah, I could see, dynamic values pop up like this, and all I had to do was just map it to it. But because this is, this is not available today, or somehow because the new new CDS connector has updated, it's not showing up. So what I had to do is I had to instead use to output method to read from my card, and then just parse and show all the body. So that's what I did. Then I instead used the parse JSON to be picked from the cards value, right? So I had to do some extra step to it. Yeah. So just going back to the opportunity, just because it wasn't refreshing timely. So the data what I had updated from the teams, it got updated here, right? So yeah, so that was this demo. I will paste here the other post that I had written, which was based on the older one. But this is again, for example, this is just for your example of how, someone wanted to update some SharePoint data. Like, let's say you recently went on a field trip and you had to now get some feedback from users, or if you are planning a trip or if you're planning some event, you have to ask people their preferences. The recent post that I just posted in the chat is about, you can ask them that, hey, what are your preferences, right? Instead of going to everyone and asking them what is a t-shirt size, or what is this, how do you prefer, or what was the feedback, anything like that. Any business scenario like this is what you can imagine. And if now today everyone is kind of using Teams, given the time, not just restricted to Dynamics, but there are a lot of things you can do with Dynamics data. This works just like an approval card, but approvals are still more specific, whereas the adaptive cards can be used to update data and, hence get your work done. So everything before and after this flow, you can add all of your logic, but, it's really powerful, and you can leverage to, cut short your processes and get work done even without having people to go into, Dynamics and then trying to update certain data. So yeah, these were the two examples which I wanted to show up.
Okay, Priyesh,
Yep.
there is one query from
Sure.
Carol. Do you want to take it now, or I'm stopping you in between of something?
No, that's fine. We are now just.
So, Carol, can you unmute yourself and ask your query yourself?
Yes, of course. Hello. I would like to ask
Hey, hi,
if it's
Carol.
okay,
Yeah.
if it's okay to send an adaptive card to a user without appropriate Dynamics or pop-up license and collect response back to CDS or Dataverse if this isn't considered as a multiplexing simply.
So this is again a complex scenario. I don't have a firm answer on this. Adaptive cards is free. So if you have already been using Power Automate the way you're using, I think Teams. Let's see if a Teams is a premium license or not. I assume it's pretty much is, because it's an organization based connector. If I just have to edit one of them. So whatever license is required by that connector, that license will be required. And again, even for CDS, feedback back to CDS. Now CDS doesn't have a separate. Yeah, since you already say that you are trying to update some data back to CDS, so that it is assumed that you have some product that gives you CDS already. So you're covered on that front. But whereas from using adaptive cards to use in Power Automate, let me just pull up.
Yeah, but the problem is that if the user that will receive an adaptive card will not be licensed, according to the licensing policy, he should not be able to access CDS records, even though like read or update, and he will be writing back to the CDS if you will collect response. So that's the thing about multiplexing.
Okay, so then
licensing perspective.
Right. I'm not sure if that is still considered as falling out of compliance or trying to work around Microsoft defined guidelines. But if you can, if your flow, let's assume that in one scenario, if your flow assumes if your Power Automate starts from a CDS connector, you can update the record in the context of the admin user of the owner of the flow. Now, I'm not sure if that really covers your scenario, but since this is something that I'll have to try, maybe I'll look into it and see if what you suggest can work. But I believe that if your Power Automate is originating from CDS as a result of any update in CDS, then you can make the Power Automate flow, the connector, the CDS trigger or Dataverse trigger to run from the context of either the flow owner of the record. So this is just about collecting feedback. So that restriction is still a little more fine grained. So I'll have to look into that, and I'll probably update you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So Carol, maybe you can connect with Priyesh. His
Yes,
social media links are available in the chat
Yes.
window, and he'll be able
Yeah.
to help you out offline.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. That was a good question. Any more questions? That was all from the demo perspective using adaptive cards. Then since we have some more time, I'll just spend a few minutes more to talk about some other adaptive cards which you can use apart from Teams. Let's say if you want to get this done on an Outlook, because usually if Teams is something that people don't usually tend to ignore the chats and don't take some time to go through all the chats. If there are a lot of chats in their Teams, you can use Outlook also instead. But just a variation from this from Outlook is that using Outlook is a little more complex, because you'll need two flows or two Power Automates, because how Outlook data is submitted back or how adaptive card sends the data back is using HTTP. So you need to have another flow that is it listens to the HTTP request and then capture the data from there. So there is also a post I had recently written on that, which I'll also post it in the chat window. Yeah. Do we have any more questions?
Right, guys. So if there are any more queries, you can leave it in the chat window, and feel free to unmute yourself and ask it over to Priyesh right now.
Yeah, sure. And in the meanwhile, I'll just give you all some relative posts to adaptive cards based on different topics if these might help you. Right.
All right. So you can share that, Priyesh.
Yes,
I think that this was a wonderful session from your end, and it was quite helpful, quite innovative, and myself exploring some of the scenarios with some multinationals across the globe. And
Nice.
it's kind of giving the teams the collaborative edge, right? Becoming a collaborative platform for everything.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I, I think it's a great thing of things coming together, better together, right? That's what Microsoft's pitching is. So
Yes.
thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. In case anybody has queries, please do share here in the chat window. I understand it takes
Yes.
ample amount of time out of your day job to create this kind of content and this kind of a demonstration. It must have taken you time as well. So thank you for spending that time. Over to you,
Thank
Shalini,
you,
if you want to
Dipesh.
add something.
Thank you so
No,
much.
I really loved the session. I got to know this morning that this is the first time Priyesh is coming to 365 Jams and speaking. I was really excited. And recently, given that I'm myself doing a lot of Power Automate and adaptive cards, this learning was really great.
Thank you, Shalini.
Oh,
I could see
oh,
Carol has raised a hand,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, Carol. Do you have another question?
Yeah, hello, hi. Well, again,
Hey, Carol.
another one about adaptive cards. I
Sure.
had a hard time rendering it out in Outlook. It must be somehow allowed to allow rendering in Outlook for other users. When I was sending it to me, all works fine. When sending it
Yeah.
out to others, simply it was blank.
I have gotten that issue as well. I had posted my post on Reddit as well, and people said that it didn't work for them in iOS. I think also that is one issue which I'm already exploring, that it doesn't render. Even in my initial test, it didn't render, but then later I realized I was missing one or two steps, which I have, which the post that I just submitted in the chat is kind of complete one, but there was something that was missing on mine which I don't recollect it right away. Um, but yeah, it initially one or two times did give me an issue, but then later on I realized that I should wait just half a second more maybe for it to pop up, and because I was trying to click between different emails and see if it comes up quickly, I was trying to do it pretty quickly, and that is why I realized that, oh, maybe I'm just trying to do some actions quickly and that's why it's not popping up. But yeah, I'll have to check if it also shows on Outlook, because that is one sorry, in iOS, because that is one issue that I recently got through another source.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Okay, so maybe my suggestion there is, Carol, you can connect offline with Priyesh on any of his social media channels. His Twitter handle is out there. You can message him on Twitter, or you can connect with him on LinkedIn as well, right? And that will be a great
Yes.
way to, because these are specific scenarios which you might be facing,
Yes.
and he'll be happy to assist you there. Thank you.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
with that said, if there are no more queries, Priyesh,
Yes.
we are just adding few more things. Which first of all, I'd like to mention that thanks
Sure.
a lot for taking the Power Platform Indore meetup for November meetup for November 2020 from D365 Champs. We would wish that
Thank you
we
so
can
much.
invite you to a lot more sessions to share the learning and knowledge
Yes.
in coming quarters as well,
Yes.
and we can see teaming up together around this wonderful technologies from Microsoft, the Microsoft Business Cloud and Power
Yeah.
Platform. Uh,
Absolutely.
and thank you for putting the effort to get it going. If anybody has queries, we can get to that, or I'll leave it over to Shalini. Shalini, anything to add?
Nothing as of yet.
Okay, so since we are living in a
Sure.
very much a remote year, and when I say remote, everybody is like connecting from home. We thought it will be a great idea to share some shots, which we'll call power shots from here, since we are doing this meetups for different locations. So there is one power shot in particular that I wanted to share from Indore for everybody, because we are all living remotely and not traveling that much. But a community and a forum should have that kind of a place also for all of us, where we can come and share those shots. So here is a power shot from Indore, which is in central India. It's a sunset that was encountered recently from my end. And with that, I'm just going to stop this particular recording. Thank you everybody for attending. Over to Sagar and Preeti from here. Thank you, Shalini, for co-organizing this with me. And thank you for all the Jams organizing team as well, to always be available to support our initiatives, including our meetups.
Yeah. Again, thank you all for hosting me, guys. It was a great time presenting.
Thank you, Dipesh. Thank you,
Thank,
Priyesh. And thank you, Shalini.